Oliver here from Boundary Brewing Company. This is our very first brew day, and you can see behind me there, I think it's working. You can see I'm just emptying water from our the water tank into the kettle, and then yeah, the kettle is starting to heat up now. And this is before we have the brew house in. We're just testing the equipment and testing some recipes that we wanted to try. Let's just take a look. So the kettle is heating now, and you can see those. I don't know if you can see them. Those bubbles coming off the heating elements. So as we heat up to mash temperature, there's a bunch of things I still have to get done. There's hoses I have to finish for the transfer into the fermenter, and I also have to finish making the system to lift the malt tube out of the wort before the boil. Yeah, I got some hooks. I put some holes in it yesterday, and I got some hooks, and now I've got to make myself a little tripod set up to kind of hoist it out with. So that's all going to happen while it should take about 45 minutes to half an hour or so, half an hour to 45, maybe a little longer, to get this up to mashing temperature, and then we'll put in our grain. I still have to actually grind all that grain and build a little table to make that happen a little quicker. So yeah, lots of things to do yet on brew day number 1. Pretty stoked. So first problem I'm noticing, we just retaped everything, and I'm noticing a little bit of water leaking out of here. So that's not good. I'll try and tighten that up right now. So this is my buddy Johan. He's my assistant brewer for the day and helping me build everything and sorting everything out. Thanks, Johan, for coming and helping me on my birthday. And it's working. It's our little pump is enough to push this water over the edge, and you can see it's pouring out of these holes. And it's mashing right now, and like, there you go. It's mashing really nicely. Yeah. So now it's actually pouring over the top. This is great. Now, one little mistake I made. You can see I've got a piece of my plate chiller on the top holding it down. It's the heaviest piece of stainless I had. The problem is that I should have had some connectors from here over to, or from here to here, holding this thing down to keep the seal. And I forgot that until right before we were about to throw the mash in. So, oh well, you live, you learn. It's looking really good. So yeah, it's working really well. The pump is actually working surprisingly well. I didn't actually think it was going to be able to handle this amount of water, this amount of wort, but this little giant pump down here is working like a hot damn. So here you can see the brew braw's controller, and here's the setup. So here the water comes out, or the wort is coming, water and wort, whatever, is coming out between the malt tube and the kettle wall, and then it goes down through the pump and comes back in here, going up through the malt malt tube, and then as it fills up, because there's a silicone seal at the bottom, you can see there's the water is, I'm steaming up there. The water is significantly lower there than wort coming out of the top here, which is flowing over and then getting recirculated. So, I mean, essentially, it's a RIMS style system. I mean, it's a recirculating infusion mash system, but it's based really on the Braumeister system, and I saw, you know, Braumeister has these things. They build a similar size. Maybe it's actually a little smaller than this, and they want like 30,000 euros for it. And I figured I could do it for cheaper, so I did. And it's so far mashing. It's working great. Like, you know, fingers crossed it stays that way. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this is the first of many good brews. A little hiccup with the temperature, but we're sorting that out. We'll have it done soon. There should be another 20 minutes or 30 minutes left in the mash. Maybe 20 minutes left. So we'll see what happens. Alright, I'll keep you updated. So here you can see the controller. It shows you there target temperature at 152, our current temperature at 154, with 21 minutes left. And you can see the graph here, and for some reason it went up to 160, and I'm not sure why. So anyway, so far this brew has cost us $1 in electricity. We've used 7.94 kilowatt hours. It's taken 40 minutes so far to do this much. I don't think that's actually true. I think that's just for the mash. I think there was a stoppage in between there. So, in any case, yeah, it was about an hour to get the strike temperature, and then and it's been 40 minutes so far in the mash, 20 minutes to go, and yeah, it's working really well. The heater is turned off right now. I manually turned it off because it was, for some reason, it was just staying at 50% and was not responding to the temperature probe. So yeah, working really well. So before the brewery's all set up, I don't have cranes to lift the mash tube out, I got my farm tractor. So I'm just about to sparge and then bring it up to a boil. So, the end of the boil, it's done, and you can see I've got a little rig going on here. The plate chiller in pieces. There's a seal missing, and I tested it thankfully with water first, and it was not going to work this time, so that's going to have to be saved for another time. I think I need another seal for that, because it was not going to work. So I had about 15 minutes to the end of the boil, and so what I decided to do is use this water tank, which I had planned to use to, run through the plate chiller. Instead of now using that as an immersion chiller. So what I've done is I had a copper coil. It's only 25 feet long, not very long, but it was the only thing I could think of, and connected it up with some hose fittings. I mean, I just had enough stuff to make this work, and now I'm just running it through, cycling it through here. And if you look in here, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's running back through. So it's definitely aerating the wort, but yeah, not ideal. Hopefully it's dropped 20 degrees in the last 5 minutes, so that's a good sign. It is working. I'm hoping to get it down to pitching temperature here within 20-25 minutes. That would be a little bit of an achievement, and then at least I'm not going to ruin this whole batch of beer. So yeah, hiccups on the first day of brewing, but it is what it is. You kind of think on the fly here and try to make it work somehow. So it seems to be working. There's no leaks. Pump seems to be handling the hot wort no problem. And yeah, let's see what happens, I guess. There's one block of ice is all I had, so I'm using that to try and keep this somewhat cool. It's not enough. It needs to be a lot more. I need like 10 of these blocks of ice in here, but yeah, I guess we'll see. So it's down to 177 now. I mean, it's dropping pretty quick, but still not as fast as it should be if it was in the plate chiller. And hopefully, yeah, I'm not gonna ruin this. So we'll see. All right, I'll let you know.